I was going through the digital version of the New York Times this morning, trying to go through quickly. And, the mind has a wonderful way of distracting itself from the truths in front of it, assuming there are truths. And, uh, and I mean, it was really, at any time you do that, some of you probably have stopped doing that. It's a big wake up call. And then one of the stories that they showed uh, was the unbelievable rise in starvation and suffering in Gaza. And I think I devoted maybe 8 seconds to that. And then I moved on. It's very easy when the world comes at you in little discrete moments. And you can look at the newspaper and go, oh my God, no, 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 move on, move on, move on, move on. And there's something calming about that, maybe something freeing and releasing about it. But it doesn't mean that the suffering in the world isn't enormous, and that we as a culture, all of us, have lived decades and decades where it's always been a few seconds of the New York Times and other people's suffering. Our lives are really, really, in many ways, very, very comfortable, um, some ways secure, some ways familiar, and it, what goes on in the rest of the world is uh, a few seconds on the screen. But times are changing. And the world that we all grew up in is no longer the world that we're going to be living in. And if you're looking at all for guidance, it comes up on my screen every day. There's editorials and Buddhist teachings, and I mean, you name it. Everybody's got a teaching for the moment. Everybody, and some are helpful. Uh, you know, all I have is what Rudy taught me, which is there's work to be done. There's really work to be done, and that work you may think is about finding a path for yourself that makes you comfortable and protected by the world. And all I can tell you is the teaching that leads to your own comfort is in a way misguided, because your personal comfort is a very temporary state, and it is not the ultimate state. The ultimate ride for every one of us is into something called suffering, pain, discomfort. And the idea of wanting to escape that for yourself is the ultimate entrapment, because the self you want to find that can escape and can be protected and can be your safe house is impermanent. It's going to go away. And I will tell you, its departure is something very few people are prepared for. We see it in other people around us, and we have blinders. We look at the screen for 3 seconds and go, oh, that's terrible, move on. But when it comes to you and your own suffering, and that will come to that at some point, when it comes to that, your suffering will become kind of a totality. It will be all that you see because it's overwhelming. And because, in a way, you have been ignoring suffering your whole life. You've been practicing how not to suffer, how to experience comfort, how to not think about it. It's not our problem. It's not my problem down the road. And then at some point, you'll have little tastes of it, of course, during your life. You'll have deaths and sadnesses and moments of real fear and despair. But those moments come and go. Then there's the one that starts to hit you and you realize it's not going. There is no end in the suffering of the moment other than leaving the world altogether. And the great teaching, of course, is the impermanence of human existence, and that we are all here temporarily, and that we're all leaving. But when the pain of transformation, of leaving this world, begins to hit you, and it can hit at any moment, at any age, but when it really starts to arrive, you are on your own. You are on your own. And all I can tell you is you have to figure out how, in some profound inner way, to look beyond your suffering. And the great answer to how to go beyond your suffering is to look at other people's. Not for 3 seconds and turn the page, but to look at the suffering of human beings, people around you who are completely on their own and who have no skill set for dealing with suffering, which may, of course, include you. But having no skill set doesn't change the equation. There are people around you who need help. There are people around you who are suffering as much or more than you. And the great spiritual, religious teaching is reach out to them. Go out of your way to take your suffering not as the focal point and the totality of your awareness, but as the key to you're not the only one. And there are people who need you. There are people who need your help. And probably the most beautiful example of the human condition and the human ride is that empathy and compassion that comes from people, not who are just trying to be nice, but people who are suffering just like you. They are going out of their way. Let's not even put it that way because that gives them some distinctiveness. They are simply human and trying to hold on to the core of love and goodness and kindness that makes them human. And the most amazing time for that to be expressed is when you're going through the worst of it. And I'm going to say, I think you all are getting the picture. The worst of it is yet to come. The worst of it is yet to come in a kind of political, geographical, environmental way. Things are going on, stuff is happening, and we're just at the very, very beginning, the blink of, oh my God, into what's going on. The urge to run, to hide, to forget, don't look, whatever the stuff is that's going on in your brain. I get all of it because, of course, I experience it as well. But the thing I come back to over and over and over and over is look at the green leaves coming up on the trees. Feed the fish because they're hungry. Get the birds fed. And then be with my wife and recognize, as I'm starting to recognize in ways that I have never known in 56, 7 years of marriage, how much I love the person I'm living with. Right in front of me, right in front of me. And the other day I said to Blanche, will you marry me? And it was like, it was everything that needed to be said. Everything. Because it is what suffering brings. It's what, when the world is collapsing around you, when things are going on, when the darkness is rising, you are still a beacon of light. It may be a flicker, but you are still a beacon, and you can provide this for others over and over and over. And I do think it's the job of all of us to do that. I'm watching a TV show, uh, which some of you probably are watching, loving or hating, called The Pit. And it's a hospital emergency room. 15 hours, each episode is a full hour of what it's like in real time in a hospital emergency room. And I will tell you, it is a wake up to what it means to be totally available to saving people, to taking care of other people. And it goes out of its way to show each one of these people with their own human drama, their own suffering, their own failing, their own fear, but rising to the occasion over and over and over, moment to moment, with such unbelievable grace and skill set. They know how to help people. They know how to arrive at the moment and offer everything they can. And when they fail and when they lose someone, which does happen, the emotionality of that is so enormous, but they can't afford to go into that. They see it, they feel it, they go to the bathroom, they throw up, they do whatever they have to do, and they move on to the next person. We may not have the training of people in an emergency room. We may not have that skill set. They are beyond belief amazing. And if you want to watch that show and be amazed, it's intense. But what you come away with is human beings working the best they can to be human beings. We are human beings in a world that is going to have more and more emergency, if you will. It's going to be tougher and tougher. And that may not be easy to see. It may not be something you can just open your eyes to and go see somebody, oh my God, they have to have a heart implant immediately or a stent or whatever. You know, you're not going to get that kind of thing with the level of insights that we have. But you will see people who are hurting. And you can make phone calls, you can reach out, you can have a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner. You can do all of these simple things to help another person. You can write them an email. You can just tell people you love them. It doesn't matter, but in the emergency room of human life, being available to help the people around you and to feel their need, especially when you are in the worst suffering of your own. And I'm always afraid to talk about my suffering because everybody I know out there suddenly tells me things I should do for myself. And I don't want anyone to do that. But I've been having issues recently. You all know I have spinal degenerative spine, and it has all sorts of problems that are suddenly just getting worse than they've ever been. And I'm crossing what they are called like Rubicon lines that I'm not going to be able to do things that I used to do. And life is really moving into spaces that I haven't been in before. And I have to go, welcome, welcome. And it's painful. And there's nobody really out there, including I have all these doctors, but they don't cross pollinate. They don't talk to each other. And there's nobody dialoguing with maybe this, maybe that, could be this. It's everyone's got their specialty. So they're not really being helpful other than dealing with the specifics of things. But the generality is there is pain that has reached a new level, and there is suffering that's reached a new level, and there's nobody to talk about it with. You know, Blanche and I try, but as you know, Blanche's memory and my own memory are starting to really go, which is a conversation we'll have down the road here. But you can't always talk to somebody who, doesn't remember 10 minutes later what the discussion was. So it's not exactly the kind of thing you're looking for to give you like, oh, honey. I mean, I get an oh, honey in the moment, but it's gone quickly. So I realize it's me. It's just me. I got nobody. But the great teaching of Rudy over 50 years of practice is I'm not alone. I am not alone. And I cannot tell you what the joy is when in this deep suffering and aloneness, this thing comes and just goes, it's okay. This tiny touch, this tiny touch. It says, try to do this or do that. And even last night was amazing. They told me exactly what to do, and I did it, and it was incredible. And you get this kind of inner directive, this inner knowing that is so remarkable. But all I can tell you, more important than informational download, is this touching. It's just touching and being touched. And if I can share with you, because it happens in this class every time, this energy comes through and it touches you. But it's not just a touch that's like, oh, hi. It is a touch that goes, oh, oh. It knows. It feels the connection with something way beyond anything cognitive. It just is aware of its totality. It's aware of its connection to something unnameable and unknowable. It takes all of human suffering and the drama and the things you read in the New York Times and elsewhere. It takes all the drama of the emergency room and it takes it to another place. It will not be a cognitive place. It won't be the answer to why all this suffering. I mean, it might be, but it won't be a intellectual awareness. It will be an awareness of something called the creator that has created this. And you will know it. You will be in touch with it. And there will be a part of you that will go, thank you. I don't know about all of you having where you are in the springtime that you're experiencing. This has been the most beautiful springtime I have ever witnessed. Now, that may not be true, but I am feeling it like the most beautiful springtime ever. And I am overwhelmed by the blossoming and the arriving of new life. There's a voice in me that says this may be the last one. Now, of course, that may not be true, but the fact that I am seeing it as though it is the last one has elevated it to a whole new level. And I cannot express the amount of gratitude I have just for leaves on a tree. Mm. I cannot tell you. Mm. It is so astoundingly beautiful. And it is, this is the old term, but it's really important. It's enough. It's enough. I don't need anything other than that. It just fills me with life blossoms. It fills itself. It does what it's going to do. And we're probably a tiny and who knows what speck in the middle of a, who knows, a digital universe. I have no idea. But I do know at the very core, when this awareness, this radiance touches me, it's all I need. It's all I need. And it's all any of us need. And if it doesn't come through for you enough, go deeper. You can ask for help to go deeper. You can ask for help to open more. It hears you and it understands authenticity. It understands when you mean it, and it understands when you're going, help me, please, kind of help me. It doesn't respond to kind of help me, just doesn't. It requires a much deeper reach, a much deeper, honest commitment to allowing yourself to be helped. If you're casual about it, it will be casual about you. What this thing offers in us, and I hate the word thing, but what this offers to us is transformative at every moment. It touches you at every moment with a reawakening of the core of what and who you are, what you're doing here, and it helps you serve everybody. So if somebody needs an aortic shot and somebody needs a something, I mean, these people in the ER are so brilliant. They know so many things about what they can do to help people. We're not that good, the rest of us, but we do know we can make a phone call, and we do know we can reach out and have lunch, and we do know we can say thank you to people. We can even say thank you to the forest, which I do. Mm. And you just find a way to make it known that you are a joyful participant or a grateful participant in this unbelievable unfolding. So right now, we are standing at the doorway of what looks like a very dramatic time for all of us, more than we've ever known in this lifetime. And right now, we can talk about it together. We can share this kind of dialogue. In months, weeks, I don't know how fast it will go. We may not be able to do that. We may not have the communications that we have right now. And I don't want to project that stuff, but Hollywood screenwriters do that. But I see it coming, and I see why there's urgency in all of us getting the message, figuring this out. It's not about connecting to Bruce. It's not about coming to class. It's not even about sitting and meditating every morning. It's about finding your connection to the what is, finding your connection and surrendering to it. It's not holding on to it because that gets in the way. It's letting it be because it never really goes away. And allowing it to be there as your directive, as your teacher, as your helper, as your coach, when there's nobody else around to do that. And you may need to figure that out. And if you're doing it just for your own ego sense, you're probably going to fail on some level. It's got to go deeper. It has to go much, much deeper. These are very trying times, and they are going to be more trying. And this is a moment to figure out how to be the greatest help you know how to be to other people. This is what it's for. Think of yourself as in the emergency room, and the one thing you have to offer people is hugs and love. And just offer, be available. It'll be a great gift to the world and a great gift to you. And to the degree that we can keep here talking about things and sharing and energizing, which is all this is, it's just sharing an energy force that will grow and help others as much as, if not more than you. Take that on and use it and be the gift that you are. Be that gift. And we'll see where it all ends up. But we're on a ride, guys, and this will be an amazing opportunity to practice what I preach. I love you all. Thank you for being here today. I know this on some level gets repetitive, but on another level, you kind of can't say it enough. And if you need help or if you're fearful or having your own dramas, reach out. I'm here. I'm happy to kind of be of help. And I love you all very, very much. And thank you for showing up. Daniel. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. On June 14th and 15th, we are going to again attempt to, and we'll hopefully manage to have a retreat at the Begindian ashram, the Rudy ashram, for a weekend, for 2 days. That's more than we did the last time that we tried to, but it's something we used to do a lot. It's a real immersion. It's a real retreat. It's a real pilgrimage to go to the source of where all this comes from, mostly to say thank you, but also because it's a space of enormous energetic dynamic that comes through. Rudy used to he used to walk around Big Indian, and you could feel he was in the place that he belonged, and the energies that emerged from that space were remarkable. I'm sorry that I'm not Rudy, but I will sit with you for 2 days. It will involve those of you who are interested in doing this, a trip to upstate New York. It's an effort. But again, pilgrimages are about effort. Pilgrimages are about putting yourself out for something bigger than you. And it's witnessed. Truly, it's witnessed. It's witnessed by you, but it's also witnessed by the forces that be. They support people's commitment. So we will have more information for you as we go forward. There will be housing information. You may have to figure out how to get up to Big Indian. It's definitely not hop, skip, and a jump, but it's a 2.5 hour trip from New York City, which is not undoable. There are nice places to stay, and if you feel motivated to make a journey like that, the reward of it, if you will, is you will leave it in a way flooded with energy and gratitude, both to you, through you, and from you. It's extraordinary. So prepare. June 14th and 15th, a Saturday and a Sunday. After you have to bring your own lunch. We'll go out to dinner on Saturday night. We'll have another morning, and then we'll have a lunch again. We'll have about 4 or 5 classes, and you spend some time with the statue with Rudy, which is probably the most important part of the visit, because his statue has real transmittable energy, and it really looks beautiful. I know that Daniel and George and Bob all went up and shined it up the other day, so when you get there, it'll be bright and beautiful. And put it on your calendar if you're interested. And if you have more questions, you can write me, or I'll move you over to Daniel, who's really amazingly on top of all this, and in many ways the source of what we're doing. So I'll let you know. Tony.
First of all, thank you for sharing all that you shared. I'm going to share a difficult thing that you probably know. Given that in Tibetan Buddhism, in particular, the whole month following somebody's death is particularly key. The mother of my 3 children passed on April 14th. Bruce, many of you know their Laura Yarn. Prayers invited. That's number one. Number two, the beauty of each leaf reminded me of a beautiful talk I heard years ago in Hastings-on-Hudson called "Is God Green?" by a leading professor of environmentalism who also happened to be a devout Christian elderly man. And he said, you know, when Jesus says, behold the lilies of the field and the birds in the air, he's saying, behold that beauty and take it into your core to nourish you, which very much resonates with what you've been saying.
Absolutely.
Last but not least, vis-a-vis Jesus, there does, at least as I was hearing your talk today, there is this, it did strike me that there's a method to the madness of mainstream Christian theology, in that everything and anything we have confronted, are confronting, and will confront, Jesus on the cross, just in his extremity, managed to be a pure Jewish Buddhist by saying, forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do.
Right. That's been kind of a core element of what I've been teaching for quite a while, actually. And yes, it's very universal, and for a reason. Yeah, I really mourn the loss of Laura, Tony's wife. She was really a wonderful human being, and truly wonderful. And
Yeah.
as I've said, I did mention it, I think in the class a week ago, and also, you know, Jackie lost her partner Dan, and I will tell you, just for the record, that Denise Jacobs, the author of Red Amaryllis, the woman whose book I may be trying to turn into a movie, am trying, passed away last week. So there's a lot of loss going on in the world around me right now. And I have to tell you, it awakens you dramatically to what it means to be here and present. So we should all be grateful. Any other questions, or have we? Yes.
So particularly maybe spring this animal landscape architect, and you're really jaded.
I'm missing what you're saying.
Landscape architect, I see every single spring. This spring there's something. I don't know what it is. I mean, every day I'm falling in everything.
I mean, it could be you, but it may be the truth. We're seeing life in its glory, and I don't know the how or why of it, but again, it's a time for thank you. Thank you.
Fear is a great motivator for noticing.
That's very true. It's very true.
Terror.
Yeah, duality. Okay, are we done here?
I have a question.
Yes, Shelley.
Okay. Um, there are a couple times that I felt like I really opened strongly after I got really, really angry. Like almost angry at myself. And so I feel like when you said, well, you have to be really authentic, and then that person, that part of me will respond. That's what happened. But most of the time I'm casual, and I don't know how to get to that really angry place.
Well, it's not the only directive, but it is one that works. There are a lot of other ways. Anger can be a surprise and a wake-up call, especially because you have to kind of move beyond it to continue just to be a human being. But you are so much what you're looking for, and the surprise in your life is going to be like, oh, wow, I am that. And it's really how it's going to work, because I've known you for a long, long time. And you identify with the seeker, but I identify you as the finder.
Okay, but it really was different after I got really angry, and then things opened, and then they'd close because I got casual again.
It appears that way. Sorry, it's just human drama. We are vulnerable to all sorts of things. The path that announces itself as the way today will not be there tomorrow. It changes regularly. And all I can say is being human is, chop wood, carry water, see what's in front of you, and move, do the thing that you have to do. And it'll instruct you moment to moment, hour by hour, second by second. It's what it does. And we are all learning as we go. None of us are great saints and none of us are great teachers, but we are all people who are able to learn enough to have a moment of grace and say thank you. Have we done it, guys? I think
I have
so.
a question,
I'm
Angel.
sorry. Angel, yes, hi.
Hi. Well, I'm calling you from Mount Tremper near Big Indian. And there was a celebration for Sam Spenier, who had Matagiri. Do you remember him?
No, I have no memory.
During this, I went to help set up the memorial, and I was handed a painting, and it was a picture of Rudy. And Sam and Rudy had both studied Gurdjieff work. And Sam was a very spiritual person. And I just thought it was so strange because I was helping and I had this huge picture of Rudy.
Nothing strange at all. What's strange is that you and I haven't seen each other in 50 years, and here we are.
I know. Well, I've been tuning in and listening to you.
These are our first words together in all that time. Amazing, amazing. Life is amazing. And all I can tell you is it's a joy to see you and to have words with you and to be in the same space. So who knows how things unfold, but they do what they're supposed to do. So thank you for showing up.
Well, I hope to see you in Big Indian.
Just wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Well, guys, thank you. This has been a long class. I know it. I love you all. Thank you for being here, and onward.